Welcome back to the reboot. Let's head back inside and put some more insulation up. I'm going to start working in that back corner. Let's get that insulation back there. I'm going to turn into Oompa Loompa Man again. Like Captain Ahab in Melville's maritime classic, this insulation project is proving to be a significant challenge for me. I've been at it for about a year, chipping away at it here and there. It sure is taking a long time. See what type of progress I make in today's video. Can I slay my white whale? This is one of the slowest insulation projects known to humankind. In my own defense, I get out here, as everyone knows, about 2 days a week, and sometimes not even that often. And this is a huge project to do on your own. Build a pole barn, build a post frame shop, but at the same time, put the insulation package in by yourself. After measuring this roll to size, trimming it down, I lift it into position, staple it in place, and right now I'm measuring and finding the locations for the screws that go in to better secure and hold the roll in position. A couple more rolls and the north wall will be finished. I'll then transition to the back wall, and as you can see in this photo, I've already got that back right corner done and part of the south wall. Here's a quick overview concerning the installation process. Each of these rolls is 48 inches wide. The bays themselves are 8 feet on center. One roll goes in, doesn't need to be trimmed in terms of the width. The other roll needs about a foot to be taken off. Here it is going in here. You can see that that second slot in that bay is not as wide, obviously, as the first one. You can see the beam above my head that I'm stapling the roll onto. Because of the beam, it's about 11 inches in depth, and so because of that I have to take off about 11 inches of the insulation to get that strip that I can then staple to the beam itself. That's pretty much the main anchor point for hanging the roll itself, and then I staple it down the side as well. I also decided to create these cleats. I call them a cleat. It's just a 3x1 that I put at the top of each of the rolls, 2 to 3 screws, socket in there, and it's just another way for me to feel confident that the roll is anchored in place correctly. Installing the rolls on the back wall is a little different than the side. These are not load-bearing walls. There's no beam up top to attach the rolls to. You can see that I've added some additional framing up top. I'm about to pull up the roll there and attach it. Don't get angry at me here, everyone. There's a pile of slabs on the ground. I'm not able to get my scaffolding any closer to the wall than this, so a little bit of overreach here. In this section of the back wall, I've got a bit of different framing. It looks this way because I originally planned to put another garage door here, an 8x7 or 7x8. That didn't pan out. I left the framing in place in case in future time I want to add that second garage door here. The idea was to be able to drive through the building for whatever reason that I had decided at the time, and I nixed the plan. Anyways, because the framing's in place there, you see what I have to do with the insulation. I've got to take the backing off a little bit and then pull the insulation up in behind that framing that I have in place there. One of the interesting things about this project to me, and when I say the project, I mean the entire build, is that this was new to me. So it was quite a challenge, is quite a challenge, the building process and now including hanging the insulation. It's all new learning. It's enjoyable, very different from what I did or do on a daily basis in terms of my professional career. What's going to be very challenging, and this will be starting, I hope, sometime in the next month and a half, is installing the rolls in the ceiling bays. As you can see above me, the trusses are 48 inches on center, and it's going to be overhead work. So that's going to be quite a challenge to try to get them in place and secure without coming out or falling while I'm trying to do that. The next piece I'm installing here is probably the one I'm least pleased with so far. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going to run out and be short of insulation when I get to the last bay. And so I've got this one piece here that is essentially probably 3 inches short of being perfect. And so I'm going to install it now. I'm going to patch up the bottom as you see, and then in the warm weather I'm going to come back and put the tape on all of these seams, and I'll have a look and see what it looks like at that time. If it's not up to what I believe is a standard that I want for the inside of this building, I'll just take it out, and hopefully I'll have enough of another piece through this process that I can install, and it won't look as shabby as this one does right now. You'll see when I'm done here that it doesn't look fantastic. The strip I'm putting in now represents the last piece for the back wall here. I'd previously done the back right corner behind the mezzanine before I built the mezzanine. You can check out those videos with the link up above. If I have a different hat and goggles on, it means it's another week. So here is again another good representation of trimming down a roll and taking off that foot of insulation from the backing at the top end, moving it into position, and then hauling it up into place where it can be stapled. The walls are 12 feet, that's including the beam. So from the bottom of the trusses to the floor, it's 12 feet. The rolls themselves are anywhere from 12'6" to 13 feet long, so that's why you see me trimming off quite often, excess at the bottom as well.
Not really this morning, but in the last 2 hours I've got those two rolls up in this last bay going this way. They're going up efficiently, but again, probably the slowest insulation job known to man.
The bats that are cut down that need to go above and below the window take quite a bit of trimming. There's the beam up above that you need to get correct in terms of the amount of insulation that needs to be removed, as well as some at the top of the window as well, because you want that backing, that white material, to overlap the framing. These smaller pieces go in quite easily, but this is why you wear the protective gear. There's a lot of fibers moving around when you're making this many cuts in the insulation itself.
Hi everyone, back in the shop here. It's chilly, it's probably minus 10 Celsius here in the shop. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. As you can see, all the way around 3 walls, almost done in terms of the insulation right now.
I'm installing my modified baffles up top here right now, the pink baffles, and these will, you can't really tell from here, but they go deep enough into the soffit so that when the ceiling insulation goes into place, it will sit on top of the beam. The baffle will create the space between the roof and the insulation, creating the airflow all the way up to the ridge vent. It's now time to clean out this corner area so I can get in here to continue the work. Get that table saw out of there, various pieces of wood, and other odds and ends that I had stacked in this corner for the last year while the construction project continues. Then a once over with the new vacuum cleaner to just get it nice and tidy as I continue to work in this area.
I'm getting this insulation moved around to where it's needed out of the back of the shop, creating a lot of space back there actually. I forgot to turn on the camera. As you can see, I've filled in this bay here. Looks quite tidy. So the next time I'm out here, I'll try to get these two done here.